Hello, yoga family. Welcome to Gentle Yoga for All Bodies with Prosperous Yoga. A quick disclaimer on the screen currently. Take a read through. Gentle Yoga for All Bodies has moved to Tuesdays at 12 p.m. The class is a donation-based class with a $10 suggested donation, syndicated on Zoom and Facebook Live. This month's charity that the donations will be going to is Trans Lifeline. You can donate directly to Trans Lifeline at the link provided, or you can Venmo, Cash App, PayPal me, and we will make a group donation come September with all the proceeds we've earned for Trans Lifeline this August. So I want to apologize preemptively. This is Gentle Yoga for All Bodies. It has moved to Tuesdays at 12 p.m. noon, starting today on YouTube Live and Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a donation-based class with a $10 suggested donation. All proceeds will be donated to Trans Lifeline for the month of August. Please have a pillow and blanket handy for our gentle practice today, and we'll begin in just a moment. I do want to preemptively apologize. There is construction out front of my building today, and the sound is quite invasive. I'm hoping through this little mic guy I got here that it's not going to affect your practice, but I am going to condense practice today because of it. I do recommend having some music playing. Hopefully we'll drown out the sound of the chisel. They're replacing the road. And there is a link to an optional Spotify playlist in the chat, whether you're on Zoom or on YouTube Live. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for joining me. Again, this class, Gentle Yoga for All Bodies with Prosperous Yoga, which is me, Tara, will be every Tuesday at noon. All right, we're gonna get started in a nice comfortable seat. I like to sit up on a folded blanket so that my tight hips are a little bit elevated. I do recommend sitting up on something if that feels good for you. Okay, maybe a pillow, maybe a chair even, if you've got some cranky legs. So we're gonna start by just settling. Whether you're joining me on your lunch break at work, or you also have construction out front of your house, or maybe you're really tiring of being at home, maybe you're juggling way too many hats, being a parent, working a full-time job, or maybe you have the exact opposite problem. You can't find work. These are extraordinary and tough times that we're going through, and we are all in it together. So let's take a moment to gently close the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Placing the palms either face down for face down for grounding, or face up for receptivity. Place those palms intentionally on the lap, either way. Sit up nice and tall. Almost lean back in space a little bit so that your spine is nice and straight. The chin should be parallel to the ground. For me, my neck always kind of juts out forward, so I have to actively also think of making sure that my skull is stacked right on top of my spine by pushing my chin back a little bit too, still parallel with the floor. Now begin to notice the breath. How are you breathing today? Is it intentional? Are your breaths deep, or are they shallow? Is the breath getting stuck anywhere in the body? Do you feel anxious or nervous today? Can we use the breath to help calm any nerves you might feel? Start to deepen the breath. drawing the air in through the nostrils, pulling it down through the throat, into the lungs. Fill up the bottom of the belly first. And then the chest, all the way up to the collarbone. As you exhale, see if you can reverse that motion. Can you release the air from the top of the chest and the lungs first, and then press the air out from the middle of the body, and finally the air from the deepest part of the belly all the way down to the diaphragm starts to let go. Try it again. Inhale, filling up the low belly first, like you're pouring a glass of water. It's a nice visual, right? The bottom of the glass fills up first, followed by the lungs all the way up to the collarbone. Maybe pause full for a second, and then exhale, cognizantly trying to let the air release from the upper chest, then the lungs, and the belly. This 3-part breath is called Dirga breathing, Dirga pranayama in yoga. It's very soothing for the nervous system. I'm going to ask you to take 3 more deep breaths like this on your own. Don't worry if it's not coming right away to you. They call yoga a practice for a reason. And Dirga breath is complicated. I really struggle to release the breath from the top down. Or wherever you may need improvement, just note it. You will get better with practice. One more wherever you are. Inhale into the belly, the chest, all the way up to the collarbone, and exhale, release from the top of the lungs, middle of the lungs, all the way to the bottom of the belly. Good. Go ahead and blink the eyes open, and we're going to start with some neck rolls. So drop the chin into the chest and just start to roll the neck from side to side. Good. One more time, right and left. And once you're nice and even, we'll meet in the middle and roll the chin back up to parallel to the floor. We're going to attach our right ear to our right shoulder. Use the palm to draw the ear as close to the shoulder as possible. I want you to make sure that you're not, it's getting in the way, that you're not drawing the shoulder up to the ear. You want to maintain pressing the shoulder down while you use the hand to pull the ear closer to the shoulder, not the shoulder closer to the ear. 3 deep breaths here. Sighing it out if it feels right. This time is for you. You can use it however you like. 3rd, exhale, releases the hand. The hand pops back up to neutral before going over to the other side. Pressing the shoulder down towards the earth. Using the hand to pull the left shoulder towards the left ear. 3 deep breaths, sending the air into any places that might be sticky. Good. Final inhale. Exhale, let it all go. All of it, babies. That's right. We're going to inhale to bring our fingertips out and up overhead. Look up, reach up, really lengthen the sides of the body. And then exhale, bring the fingers back down to the hips. 2 more just like that, warming up those shoulder sockets, lengthening the spine. Exhale. Last one, inhale up. Good. Hold here for a second and exhale. We're going to bring the right hand to the left knee and use the left hand to come behind us, acting like a second spine, supporting us on the floor and welcoming a nice gentle twist. look back over that left shoulder if it feels good for your neck, and you will bring the twist all the way up into the neck. Take 3 deep breaths here in this gentle twist. Good. On your next exhale, we'll unravel, come back to the center. Inhale those fingertips out and up overhead. Hold here for a minute, lengthening the side body. This time we're going to twist to our right. We're going to bring our left hand to our right knee and utilize that right hand behind the spine as a secondary spine, so that we're sitting up nice and tall and twisting. Maybe we're even looking over that right shoulder with the neck, bringing the twist all the way up into the neck, but only if it feels good. 3 deep inhales and exhales. Remember, this is your practice, so you get to choose the intensity. How are you feeling today? The body changes daily, so make sure that you are being kind and present with where your body is today. Final inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Return to the front. Cool. Let's welcome some nice, juicy shoulder rolls. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale forward and up. Exhale, really squeeze those shoulder blades together as you press the entire shoulder girdle down. Good. One more like this. And reverse the direction of your circle. So squeezing the shoulder blades on your way up and forward, really concaving like your cat spine when you're in all fours, doing that cat-cow motion. Last one. Good. Speaking of cat-cow, let's bring our palms to our knees. Sit up nice and tall on an inhale. Exhale everything out. And then we're going to inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, allow the heart space to shine through. Exhale, belly button pulls to spine. And we're coming to that cat spine. Good. 2 more like this. Inhale to cow spine. Exhale to cat spine. Inhale. Exhale. Good. We're going to hang out in this cat spine here and go ahead and move around anything that feels good. I can feel a lot of really tight muscles in between my shoulder blades. So I'm going to kind of hang out here and try to get into that sore spot. And why don't you do the same thing? Take about 10 seconds to get into any little nooks and crannies that you can feel in this cat spine. On your next inhale, pull yourself back up to seated. We're going to take a moment to stretch our wrists and forearms. And society was already crazy technology, right? And now we're in a pandemic, so we are typing, texting. So let's give our hands a little bit of love. We're going to start by bringing one hand, doesn't matter to me which hand, we'll do both sides. Palm facing away from your body, fingers facing towards the floor. We're going to grab those fingers and start to gently pull back. 3 deep breaths here. You should be feeling a really nice stretch in the forearm here. Final inhale. Good. Let it go, and we're going to turn the opposite way. So now the back of the palm is facing away from you, and you have 2 options here, whatever feels right for your body and your wrist. Be gentle, we need our hands. Okay, we're going to start to either draw the whole hand back like we did the opposite direction, or if it feels better for you, you can take the thumb. For me, this option is working today. 3 deep breaths. Now I'm feeling it up here. It feels really nice. Good. Let it go, shake it out. Moving on to the opposite hand. Face that palm away from you, fingers down towards the ground, and start to gently pull the fingers back towards the forearm. Getting a nice stretch in the inside of the wrist. 3 deep breaths. Exhale, let it go. Come into the other side. Back of the hand faces away from you. And again, we're either gently pulling the fingers or the thumb back towards the inside of the wrist here. Getting a nice stretch in the outside of the forearm. 3 deep breaths. Final inhale. Exhale, let it go. Shake it out. Bring both hands into loose fists. And we're going to start to make circles with our wrists. Good. Other direction. Keep it nice and even. Out. Cool. Now we are going to bring the fingertips to the tops of the shoulders. My fingers are in front of my shoulders. My thumbs are in back of my shoulders. See how I'm keeping my elbow as even as I can with my shoulders, okay? And we're going to start to swim, bringing one elbow forward in a big circle and then the other elbow forward in a big circle. 3 deep breaths. Go as slow as you need to really get in all those muscles in the shoulders. Pause and reverse. 3 deep breaths, go in the opposite direction. That's right. Come to stillness and let the palms relax. We're going to take the legs out in front of us into a Baddha Konasana shape, which is the soles of the feet touching, or butterfly legs. Okay. Good. The heels can be as close to the pelvis or as far away as is comfortable for you. Again, if you have tight hips like I do, now is a really good time to put a pillow or a folded blanket underneath your seat if you don't already have one. We're going to be forward folding in this shape. So it helps, the motion that we want is hinging from the hips. We don't want to just kind of collapse over our legs. So having the pillow up here helps support me by taking me a little bit higher so that I can really hinge from the hips before I release to the ground. Okay? So hands on the shins or the thighs, wherever feels good. Take a deep inhale. Sit up nice and tall. And on the exhale, we're going to start to hinge forward, maybe walking the fingertips out in front of us. Maybe this is as far as you get today. Cool. Feel free to hang out here. You can drop the neck. You can hug a pillow or a blanket in between your face and your feet if it feels good. Maybe you walk a little bit further down. You should be feeling a nice, gentle stretch in the hips. Don't push yourself too far. This is gentle yoga and we're not overly warmed up, so please be gentle with yourself here in this shape. 3 deep breaths. Final inhale, deep, deep, deep inhale. Exhale, use the fingertips to walk yourself back up to sitting. And we're going to walk the fingertips all the way behind us. So my thumbs are pointed towards my hips, and my fingertips are back away from my hips. And I'm going to take a moment here with my fingers, I don't know, maybe 6 inches behind my hips to lean back, press into the palm, squeeze the shoulder blades together. If I feel comfortable, dropping the chin, looking up at the ceiling, getting a nice little reverse back bend here. 3 breaths. I have a bad habit in back bends of scrunching my shoulders to my ears, so make sure you're lifting out of those arm sockets. And the shoulders are actively pressing away from the ears even though we're in this back bend shape. Final inhale here. Exhale, slowly bring the chin into the chest if it was back. And walk the fingertips back up to seated. Excellent. We're going to move to our backs. We're going to be really gentle today. No standing Tuesday. So go ahead and remove any prop you might have and come to meet me lying on your back. going to take the right foot up to the ceiling first. Now, what the left leg does is up to you. It can be stomped on the floor like mine is right now, or if you want to get a little deeper in there, you can. I can't because there's things in the way. Oh, living in Brooklyn. You can relax your leg down also if that works for you. Okay. Cool. So now we're going to start to just welcome some gentle pulses to wake up the hip. My knee crease isn't moving at all. See, all the motion is coming from up here, up at my hip. My knee is just kind of relaxed and hanging out. Good. Now we're going to turn the leg out, okay? So I've turned my knee away from my body, and I've turned my heel in towards my body so that I have a turnout like a ballet dancer, so that I'm getting that nice twist in the hip and really getting into the parts of the hips that we don't use, right? Most of our motion is front and back with the hip. We really don't get into the abduction and the adduction quite a lot. So we're going to work with that a little bit today. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite of what we just did. So now my knee is turning in, almost like I'm knock-kneed. I am knock-kneed. And the sole of the foot is going to go away from the body. 10 gentle pulses with this turn in. Getting into parts of the rotator cuff of the hips that we don't usually pay any attention to. Good. And then I'm going to come back to neutral for another 10 pulses to just reset. Come to stillness. Flex the foot towards the ceiling and then point the foot. Really roll through the toes. Good. 2 more. Flex and point. Last one. Flex and point. Draw circles on the ceiling with your big toe so that you're circling out the ankle. 3 in one direction, and then take 3 the opposite direction. Good. Come to stillness and slowly lower that right leg to the ground. A little ab challenge for you. Good. Now again, the option here is yours, whether that right foot stomps on the ground or whether you lay it out long. Either which way, we're going to bring the left foot up to the ceiling now. Remember, soft knee, and I'm going to start pulsing from the hip crease. Do about 10. Warming up the hip flexors. Pausing to turn out. So my knees coming to the outside of my body, and the sole of my foot is coming towards the inside of my body, and rotating from this rotator cuff all the way up here. I'm doing 10 gentle pulses in the turn. Okay. And now we're going to pause and go to internal rotation. So we're going to start in the hip and do our best to bring the knee in towards the body. Oh, my hip does not want to do that today, and it's okay if yours doesn't either. Be gentle with yourself. And then the sole of the foot will go away from the body. 10 gentle pulses this way. Internal rotation from the rotator cuff. Good. And we'll finish it off with 10 neutrals right in the middle. Pause here. Relax the foot. Point the toe. Flex the foot. Point the toe. 3 more on your own. Start to draw circles on the ceiling with the big toe, creating 3 ankle circles down and 3 ankle circles the other direction. Pause, straighten the leg, and slowly lower the leg back down to the floor. Good. Bring both soles of the feet to the ground. Cross the right ankle over the right knee. We're coming into reclined pigeon. Make sure you're flexing the right toe. Okay. And then we're going to draw this figure four shape that we're creating with our legs up off the ground towards the face. You have a couple options here. Your arms can come out like a cactus. If this is enough for you, cactus, T, whatever works. Let gravity do the work. If you want a better, bigger, deeper stretch, not necessarily better, just deeper, excuse me. You can draw the figure four shape towards the face by clasping the hands behind the thigh or behind the shin. And we're going to stay here for about 30 seconds, settling in. It's a shame that American culture always pushes bigger and deeper as better. It's not always. Sometimes we need to be really gentle with ourselves and take care of ourselves, especially in such turbulent times as we're going through right now. So take this time as we lay on our backs to try to be kind and gentle to yourself. Say something really nice to yourself that you'd like to hear. I know you're doing the best that you can for these hard times. And if things aren't great right now, they will get better. Exhale, drop the shape all the way to the ground. Both soles of the feet meet on the ground. The left ankle crosses over the right ankle. And then we either splay the arms out or we get ready to thread the hands behind the thighs. We lift the shape up to the face. Maybe we thread our hands behind the thigh or shin to draw the figure four shape towards the face. Remember, the left foot remains flexed. 30 seconds here, getting a nice stretch in the left hip. This time I'd like you to show some gratitude to yourself for taking this time out today to practice yoga with me. To take care of yourself. By taking care of ourselves, we are taking care of others. We're more likely and able to show up for them when we've shown up for ourselves, right? Last deep inhale here. Exhale, drop the shape, release, and we're going to draw the knees into the chest now. We're going to place our palms on our knees, and we're going to draw circles on the ceiling with our knees. Get a nice little back stretch in. Good and juicy. We're going to do 5 in one direction. And then we'll pause, and we'll go opposite direction. Good. Come to stillness. Allow the arms to splay out like a T, and then we're going to drop the knees to the right side of the body. Inviting a nice supine twist here. My shoulders are doing their best to stay connected to the ground. My feet and knees are stacked on top of one another, and I'm getting this nice twist through my spine. Maybe I'll even draw my nose to look over my left shoulder the opposite way of my knees. So then I'm taking the twist all the way up into the neck. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, filling up the belly like a glass of water. Exhale, pulling that belly button to the spine. One more deep inhale and exhale, the deepest you can manage. Exhale, draw the knees into the chest and drop them over to the opposite side of the body. Knees and feet are stacked on top of one another. Shoulders are doing their best to stay connected to the ground. Maybe the nose is even looking over the opposite shoulder from the way the knees are directed. breaths here in the supine twist. Final exhale draws the knees back into the chest. Wrap the arms around the knees. Give yourself a nice hug. Thank yourself again for taking this time for you today. And as you exhale, allow yourself to fall into a peaceful Shavasana. Shavasana is final resting pose, or corpse pose, where we practice stillness and letting ourselves just be so that we can absorb the benefits of the practice that we just indulged in together. So take a moment here to release the body, starting with the toes and the feet and the ankles, shins, calves, knees, quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and hips all melt into the earth, letting go of any tension, letting go of any gripping that's no longer serving them. The stomach relaxes. There's no need to hold anything in. Give the internal organs some extra space while releasing the low back, the middle back, the upper back, and the shoulders. The fingertips, hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps all melt into the earth. Neck releases, melting like lava into the earth. All tension from the neck and shoulders disappears. The jaw relaxes and is not clenched. The tongue floats in between the teeth, and there is no expression on the face. Even the scalp is relaxing. I will now leave you here in silence for a bit to continue to absorb the benefits of this yoga practice. Begin to deepen the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Your next inhale is so deep that it begins to move the limbs, rolling through the wrists and the ankles, maybe nodding the head side to side. Following inhale causes you to roll over on either side, knees into the chest and in the fetal position. Taking a moment here to remember that we are all born the same way. And go ahead and gently push yourself back up to a seat. Eyes closed still if you feel comfortable. There's no rush. I'll give you a minute to get here. Breathing deeply into the diaphragm and exhaling, sighing it out. Come to seated nice and tall in the same way we began class about 30 minutes ago. Bring the palms to the knees and scan the body from head to toe. Just noticing, does anything feel differently now? Do you feel calmer or more in tune with yourself? Bring the palms to meet in the center of the chest. Thumbs will lock into that little notch in the sternum. We'll bow the chin into the chest. I thank you for taking this time out for gentle yoga for all bodies with me today. And the light in me honors and recognizes and appreciates the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so very much for taking the time to practice with me. Our first Tuesday, 12 p.m. noon, gentle yoga for all bodies on YouTube Live, babies. So I'll put the donation information back up once more before I say goodbye. Again, this is Gentle Yoga for All Bodies. We'll be live on YouTube and Zoom every Tuesday at 12 p.m. noon. It's with Prosperous Yoga. That is me, Tara. Hi. Our August donations will be donated to Trans Lifeline. If you feel more comfortable donating directly to the charity, that's okay. The information is up there for you to donate. Otherwise, you can Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal me, and I will let you know early September as a community how much we've been able to donate for the organization. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for showing up for yourself, and I will see you next Tuesday right here. Take care.